Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to Srimad Bhagavatam class, Thursday morning. So let me offer my prayers. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaivam narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishiki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Screen. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, text number 8. Durbhagabato lokayam Yadavo nitaram api ye samvasanto na vidhur harimina ivo dhupam Durbhagabato lokayam Yadavo nitaram api ye samvasanto na vidhur Harimina ivo dhupam. Synonyms: Durbhaga, unfortunate. Bata, certainly. Lokaha, universe. I am this. Yadavaha, the Yadu dynasty. Nitaram, more specifically. Api, also. Ye, those. Samvasantaha, living together. Na, did not. Viduhu, understand. Harim, the personality of Godhead. Meenaha, the fishes. Ival Yudapam, like the moon. Translation: this universe, with all its planets, it's most unfortunate. And even more unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty, because they could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead, any more than the fish could not identify the moon. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Uddhava lamented for the unfortunate persons of the world who could not recognize Lord Sri Krishna in spite of seeing all his transcendental godly qualities. From the very beginning of his appearance within the prison bars of King Kamsa up to his Manusha Leela, although he exhibited his potency as the personality of Godhead in the six opulences of wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, the foolish persons of the world could not understand that he was the Supreme Lord. Foolish persons might have thought him an extraordinary historic figure because they had no intimate touch with the Lord. But more unfortunate were the family members of the Lord, the members of the Yadu dynasty, who were always in company with the Lord but were unable to recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uddhava lamented his own fortune also, because although he knew Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, he could not properly use the opportunity to render devotional service to the Lord. He regretted everyone's misfortune, including his own. The pure devotee of the Lord thinks himself most unfortunate. That is due to excessive love for the Lord, and is one of the transcendental perceptions of viraha, the suffering of separation. Paragraph 2. It is learned from the revealed scriptures that the moon was born from the milk ocean. There is a milk ocean in the upper planets, and there Lord Vishnu, who controls the heart of every living being as Paramatma, the super soul, reside as the Shirodakshay Vishnu. Those who do not believe in the existence of the ocean of milk because they have they have experience only of the salty water in the ocean should know that the world is also called the go, which means the cow. The urine of a cow is salty, and according to Ayurvedic medicine, the cow's urine is very effective in treating patients suffering from liver trouble. Such patients may not have experience of the cow's milk because the milk is never given to liver patients. But the liver patient may know that the cow has milk also, although he has never tasted it. Similarly, men who have experience only of this tiny planet where the saltwater ocean exists may take information from the revealed scriptures that there is also an ocean of milk, although we have never seen it. From this ocean of milk, the moon was born, but the fish in the milk ocean could not recognize that the moon was not another fish and was different from them. The fish took the moon to be one of them, or maybe something illuminating, but nothing more. The unfortunate persons who do not recognize Lord Krishna as like such fish, they take him to be one of them, although a little extraordinary in opulence, strength, etc. The Bhagavad Gita 9:11 confirms such foolish persons to be most unfortunate. Avajanati mamuda manushim tanum asrishtam. Omajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamiham Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhya Sakripa Sindhubhya Vachapatita Nam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome devotees. I seek the blessings of all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. I take this opportunity to take the mercy of us all assembled devotees, mercy of my spiritual master, our deity Shri Nitai Gaurachandra, to speak something meaningful and trying to speak something regarding in these words. Okay, so here the context is Uddhava and Vidura are discussing in the situation where Krishna has left this planet, and Vidura is asking questions to Uddhava, and Uddhava is explaining his questions. They are, both are, in the mood of a separation, extreme separation from Krishna. And they are remembering, this chapter is all about a remembrance of Krishna. So they are remembering their association with the Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, the qualities of Krishna. So it's all about thinking, feelings about Krishna. So the context here is Uddhava is telling to Vidura that this universe is unfortunate, Durbhaga, unfortunate. And why it is unfortunate? Because the members of the Yadu dynasty, or the people in the Dwaraka, they could not identify Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. Because the Yadu dynasty people, they are the one who associated with the Lord, very closely. And in spite of their association, they are not in a position to understand the supremacy of the Lord. So they think here it's all about, in other words, chastisement. Yeah, the whole thing. If here you can see that it says they didn't realize the personality. They even when they can very well see the opulences of the Lord Krishna manifested his opulences in the form of wealth, strength, fame, beauty, renunciation, knowledge. But still, they consider Krishna to be an extraordinary person. There is a difference between an extraordinary person and the Supreme Personality of God. So, at the maximum, they think, okay, so Krishna is the protector, or he's an extraordinary person. So that's the mindset they are having about it, and they they don't really understand who this Krishna is, or what is his position, and what are their positions. So they are not in that mood. So they didn't understand. That's what Uddhava is calling out. And here, Uddhava is also saying about the milk ocean. Because we live in the ocean where we have seen only ocean with a salty water. But in the reality, the milk ocean is there, and that's where from the milk ocean the moon comes. And the fish in the ocean thinks that the moon that they see is just an illumination or some other kind of a fish or something like that. They don't really value it. Something similar to this, the members in the Yadu dynasty are acting without knowing, without getting the complete awareness of the supremacy of the Godhead. So, and Uddhava is saying that these men are no more than unfortunate persons because they don't understand, or confirms them to be the foolish persons, and he's chastising. So, if you see here, right, our acharyas have glorified earlier about the Yadus. They are the eternal associates. And now Uddhava is saying these people are unfortunate, especially the people from Yadu dynasty are unfortunate. So our Acharya says that here, why is Uddhava talking like that? It is because of extreme love. Uddhava is talking. It is because of extreme love for Krishna. So sometimes, as parents, we get bewildered when our kids do something, when our kids get into some trouble. We get bewildered and we talk something intense. And in that communication, we may say some harsh words, or we may say that I'm done with you. I'm not, you don't even come to me. Like, we talk this language, and that is natural and that is spontaneous because we are confused. We are bewildered by the situation. Why we are saying all these things? Because we have a greater interest. We have love, and that love is making us to confuse or bewildered. And that is the reason here, because of extreme love for Krishna, Uddhava is saying that these people have not used the golden opportunity. They have not done well enough in associating, in understanding the supremacy of the Lord. And he is chastising here. But this chastisement should not be taken as the mundane chastisement, like someone in our work or someone is saying like that. It is out of intense love that is coming. That's the understanding. It's like this text. Then you can ask, like, why is this? Why is this being said? Why is he not? Why is he chastising these Yadu dynasties? Why is it? This is all about sarcasm. I don't know the Sanskrit word for that type of sarcasm. It's like don't go to Vrindavan. if you go to Vrindavan, even if you go to Vrindavan, don't go to KC Ghat. And if you happen to go to KC Ghat, be careful. Don't even go and look at that blackish boy. If you are seeing that blackish boy, your life is done. It's like that. So if you see that blackish boy in the KC Ghat, then your life is done. Means that you are attached to the Supreme Personality of God, to attach to that beautiful eyes. You are attached to that that lotus feet. They are attached. You are you will be definitely attracted to that mesmerizing sound that is coming from his bamboo flute. There is no way. So your life is done. So don't go there. Which means it's creating a curiosity. Oh, what is there? That sort of a way. So here it's saying the Yadus are like this. So Yadus are there. Why should the Yadus know about this personality of Godhead? Why should they know about the supremacy of Godhead? Because Krishna also doesn't want them to interact with him in that manner. Because Krishna, even though he is the supreme personality of Godhead, he wanted to be defeated by his friends in his when they are playing with him. He don't want to be here. You look at me, I'm Krishna, I'm the supreme personality of God. He didn't mean like that. He wanted to be like in a game that he also wanted to be like defeated. He wanted to take that role. And in his interaction with the gopis, like the rasa is totally different. So there is no requirement, there is no expectation from Krishna that everyone should, especially the Yadus, the gopis, they don't want them to be like, I'm the boss, you have to do this. No. And they also, the gopis are extraordinary. Like they did something, whatever that is required for Krishna. If Krishna is having a headache, someone asks, give you a dust. Sure, I will go and give the dust to Krishna. Whatever that is for Krishna. They are Krishna consciousness. In the sense like thinking, what is Krishna thinking right now? What will be he thinking? What is Krishna feeling about it? What will Krishna feel about this? So that sort of a mood, constantly thinking about Krishna. So they don't really need to be known that Krishna is a supreme personality of a Godhead, and I really missed thinking about his supremacy and all. No, they are in that bhava. So here, why should they know question is important. Because they are eternal associates. Krishna is not here. They go and they are going to be associated with Krishna in some other planet, in some other universe where Krishna's pastime is going to happen. So they are eternal associates. They are always with Krishna. Somehow or other, they are always with Krishna. And he is saying, Uddhava is saying to Vidura, these Yadu people, they don't know the glories of Krishna. They don't know his supremacy. They don't know him as a supreme personality of Godhead. But you and I, which is Vidura and Uddhava, we know the glories that he is a supreme personality of Godhead. We are only the unfortunate persons here. These Yadus, they don't know the supremacy, but they are the eternal associates of of Krishna, and they are the most fortunate. But we are only unfortunate because even knowing that he is the supreme personality of you and I are trapped here. So he is talking in that mood. So if you see these, how these people are thinking, forget about Yadus or the gopis. They're extremely way high. Okay. If you see the life of Srila Prabhupada, let's take to the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, at least to something that we can connect. If you see them, Srila Prabhupada is always thinking about Krishna. He may be doing some activities on this platform in the contemporary world. He may be talking to someone, he may be doing something, but it's always thinking. My thoughts when I'm reading this, I know I was thinking about in Lila Marda, like it says, the first travel, the first time when Srila Prabhupada was making his taking a plane from New York to San Francisco. That was his first time experience taking a plane. So when Srila Prabhupada, he moved from Vrindavan, from a very little town. He is in the New York City, a city for financial activities and with a lot of skyscrapers building. He has, he has seen those buildings, big, tall buildings. And when the plane took off, he is seeing all those big skyscrapers looks very small. And his thoughts were like, oh, these big buildings look very small to me from this height. Okay. How does it will look for Krishna, who is even above this sky? How does this thing, how does it look for Krishna? How does these building, these people will be in the eyes of Krishna? So that is where his mood is. How things will look for Krishna. What is Krishna feeling about this? That sort of mood is into that. So here, in our life, this chapter is all about remembrance of Krishna. Remembrance. We should be fortunate. When we say that we should take the association of Krishna, my understanding is, yes, we definitely need to have the association of Krishna. In the association, what are we getting? We are getting constant remembrance and recall about Krishna. Every one of us is talking about something or other about Krishna, what they read, what they experienced, the realization. That is nurturing our faith. That is nurturing our faith. That is helping our creeper to grow. Like it is putting a small fertilizers every week. For the Tulsi plants that we put some small fertilizers. So this association, this remembrance and recall is helping us to nurture our creeper of bhakti. When we love some family, friends, we call this as love. But when we love when we love Lord Hari, when we love Krishna, it is called bhakti. So we need the impetus. We should take the impetus, and the remembrance is one of that. Like we should really take that opportunity, something or other. And I don't know, like I read in some journal few years before, I think it's Srinivasa Acharya, like I don't know if a kid will be a small kid will be dressed like Krishna, with a peacock feather, a small flute in his hand, like we have seen in our school days, the fancy dress competition. So many kids will be dressed like Krishna, or even on Janmashtami days, kids will be dressed like Krishna. So something like that happened, and he brought one of the kid in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu, soon after seeing this kid, he started crying, because he was thanking Srinivasa Acharya that for bringing this kid dressed like Krishna in front of me, so that he can remember Krishna, he can think about Krishna. And he was thanking. So if Mahaprabhu, who is always in Krishna consciousness, who is always thinking about Krishna, he is thanking Srinivasa Acharya for bringing this kid and so that he can be connected to Krishna. So what to speak of us, that remembrance is very important in our life. I would like to conclude with this. In our life, how we can act as an impetus, how we can act as an instrument for helping others to remember us, helping others to remember. In our daily life, we remember so many things. Why are we remembering that? It's called impressions. So samskaras, so many things that we see, so many things that we hear, that get registered in our mind, like the memory, everything get registered. Okay, so it get registered, and when it get registered, there is also a recall happens. All those things that we see, that we hear, okay, that get registered in the mind, and the mind goes and recall those things. It's a function, it's a cognitive function. So that's how it works. No, I had an opportunity to hear. So this recall will be effective. Say for example, when we say something, it is not in part. It is. If you say something, it's not that what we are saying is important. We may say something pleasant or unpleasant. It's not that, or a matter could be of something, that whatever we are trying to say. It's not that what we are saying is important. It's how we are saying is more important than what we are saying. So how part is very important. When we say something, whether if we say the how part, whether pleasant or unpleasant, but that is going to have the recall. Oh, he said that to me, he said that in this way. Your mind is going to constantly go back on that. So if we be careful in our interactions, if we be careful in our how part, how we say that, so that it doesn't create anxiety, or it doesn't really hurt, that's very important part of our communication. In our empathic communication, that's very important, like how we say that part. And in that way, our mind will be in a position to accept, and it will have a positive recall of that interaction. So that is something that in terms of a remembrance and recall, that I was able to hear something about this message on the importance of how more than what we are trying to share is something that we can practice on our day-to-day life. So here Krishna, we are thinking about Krishna here. Uddhava is talking about the unfortunate thing of Yadus. But in reality, Yadus are very fortunate. They have the bhava, they have the intense love. And that's the reason they are called the eternal associates. So with this, I thank you everyone for providing me an opportunity to read and speak something about these words. If there are any corrections or discussions, we can take few minutes to discuss about that. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru and Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. So nice. Prabhuji, one small doubt about or question about Srinivasacharya, episode that you were talking about. What I have read about Srinivasacharya, he was actually wanting to get, become the student of, Mahaprabhu, but he doesn't get the opportunity because Mahaprabhu exits the material world. And then he goes to, Mahaprabhu comes in his dream and asks him to go to, I think, Srinivasacharya, not Srinivasa, um, I forget who it is, another of the Panchatattva. And again, he plans to go there. By the time that, he also leaves the, planet. So this goes on until finally, he goes to, I think, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami or something like that. And then he becomes the student of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So I'm a little confused when you say Srinivasacharya actually met, Mahaprabhu. So just wanted some clarification on that, Prabhuji.
I don't know, Prabhu. I read in some journals few years before the Puri journals. Let me go back on that and confirm on that. But but I know the context. I know I may accidentally misrepresent it with Srinivasa Acharya, but that's I have to go back to that part on those journals. It's there in
Yes. Please forgive me, Prabhuji. I didn't mean to, I'm just confused. That's all. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Sorry, I was slightly interrupted from hearing the class through. I had one question, that is how the moon is coming from the milk ocean. Because when the, can you say something about that one, Prabhu?
Mataji, it says that in the scriptures that moon is coming from the milk ocean, right? Here, what is saying. So I don't know anything more about that other than it says in the purport.
Yeah. Okay, because I was just thinking I have not heard that one. Maybe I've heard, but I don't, because when we hear about the churning of the milk ocean, the moon is not coming out of there. The moon is already there. Yeah, so I was thinking. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Mataji. That's interesting. Already, if there are...
Prabhu, please accept my senses. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Krishna Mataji, please accept mine too. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It's very, very touching, your description of remembrance and how the Vrajavasis and these devotees, they don't have to do any extreme endeavor to become Krishna conscious. It's their part. It's so natural for them. And I was thinking of yesterday, Premanand Mataji. I mean, just it's very high in one level, but on the other hand, it's actually telling us how much imbued their Krishna consciousness is. So that's somehow very, very touching for me. Because even, I can speak for myself, even when I'm trying to do sadhana or services or whatever it is, I want to become a nice devotee. I want to serve the, serve Krishna or Guru or the devotees. I'm still at the center. It's like so, me conscious, even while doing the devotion service. On the contrary, here you were telling this example of giving the dust, or, it's just so beautiful. Lord Chaitanya thanking this devotee, whoever, Shiva Thakura, Srinivasacharya, so much for reminding him of Krishna, who is like constantly in Krishna consciousness. So that's somehow, bringing that perspective of how deep their Krishna consciousness is. And though, I feel so far off, it was very hope-giving, as Mataji was mentioning yesterday. There is nothing stopping us from aspiring for that. The opportunity is there, and we have the process given.
Right.
And another thing, as you were mentioning about this, the buildings, becoming so small, and Prabhupada thinking, what would Krishna see them as? So, when, of course, these are the messages we keep hearing, but it was somehow striking as you were sharing. When there are some problems, I may think like, this is the biggest problem and there is no way out. And I would be, trying to do so much on my own. I may have praying to Krishna somewhere in the background, but that's not really in the forefront. So somehow as you were sharing, that thought came to me. For Krishna, whatever problems we are facing, that's like nothing. If he really want to remove it, like just like that he can do. So really reaching out to him and, begging him to help us, whether the problem is there or not, for us to become deeply sheltered in his lotus feet.
That's true, Mataji. Thank you for sharing
Thank
that.
you so much.
That's very nice thing about it. I mean, like Krishna says that if you call yourself as a devotee of me, Krishna, that's not important to me, but if you call me, if you identify yourself as a devotee of Krishna's devotee, that's where his attention is going. That's a wonderful part. We always try the I consciousness, as you are pointing out. That's our tendency in the mixed state. But if we really try to take the shelter, how about Shatarapa Mataji will always said, who is Krishna? I don't know. I know only Srila Prabhupada. I used to wonder why she's saying like this in the Bhakti Shastri classes and all those things, but there is a real meaning behind that, the connectivity part with taking the shelter from the devotee of a Krishna is more glorious than Krishna. So that's drawing the attention of Krishna. So that part is also very interesting. Thank you for sharing that insight, Mataji. All right, it's 8:08. If there are no more discussions, I thank you for providing opportunity. Lakshmikant Prabhu is not here, so we'll close this. Happy Krishna Conscious Day. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you, everyone. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.